The U.S. sells billions of dollars worth of arms and military technology to Saudi Arabia every year, and the long-standing security relationship continues to be strategically important. But amid concerns about the treatment of women, a murder of a journalist, and the country's ties to 9/11, some have called on the U.S. to redefine its relationship with the Saudis. Should Congress step in to limit arms sales until changes are seen? Ms. Tang Williams.
Well, I think that the U.S. foreign policy really needs to reevaluate it. I see that we have lots of money go to overseas where our own people are not well taken care of. First of all, endless foreign wars are not doing Americans any good, and lots of foreign aids go to the countries that might not even be very friendly towards us. And we cannot secure our own borders, but we send lots of money to other countries to secure their borders. It just does not make sense to me. And also, I am a grassroots candidate. I feel very sympathetic toward Americans, working middle-class families, because I was born into poverty, and our veterans even don't have, a shelter to live sometimes. So I would reevaluate all that and to say that we need to take care of our American citizens first.
Mr. Burns, should Congress step in to limit arms sales to Saudi Arabia until changes are seen?
Yes, we should, but not until we have at least start making more steps towards energy independence. I mean, let's face it, what are we doing? We're doing it because of energy and oil, right? We really shouldn't have the relationship that we have with Saudi Arabia. They're a dangerous country. They're not our friends. As we know, the 9/11 bombers came from, or terrorists came from Saudi Arabia, but we really didn't sanction them at all. I remember when Trump got into this and he wanted to limit the amount of people coming from some of these countries that hated us until we could figure out what was going on. And everybody called him a racist. Race had nothing to do with it. It's the ideology of the people from these countries. And yes, Saudi Arabia is not a good country. But that also goes with the Chinese. I mean, I'd like to limit what we're doing with the Chinese, but we need to secure our pharmaceuticals back in this country. We need to secure our electronics back in this country, and we need food security in this country as well. And we shouldn't have to depend on these countries who aren't our friends. And we shouldn't be selling weapons to people that could be very likely using them against us in the future.
And Mayor Hansel, same question to you.
I'm not sure that restricting arms sales is going to get the desired result there. The fact is, though, we are living in a much more dangerous world than we were when President Trump was in office because of Biden's disastrous exit from Afghanistan. It has kicked off a cascading effect that has emboldened dictators like Vladimir Putin to invade Ukraine. It has emboldened another one of our enemies, our largest enemy, China, in intimidating Taiwan. We have a mess now, and we have to deal with it. And I think it's incumbent upon all of us to get together with our partners around the world who are interested and have a vested interest in global security and make sure that everyone is paying their fair share. This is a perfect time for us to do that. Our economy is in a recession. We made decisions during COVID that other countries, our European partners, did not make. They were much more conservative with their stimulus funding. It's a perfect time for us to go to those partners and build a new coalition where everyone's paying in to affect global security.